What do you think? Not bad, huh? Looks a whole lot different than it did before we got started back there. Still need another coat down here. As we go forward, there's still stuff to do. Before I could get out of the aft cabin, though, we had to finish up back here. We put on the bunk board, which we made in the shop. Russell Brown of PT Watercraft provided this nifty piece of spruce for the front ledger. And I got in those new port lights in the back. They came out quite nice. And I got the transom, some fine tuning done on the transom. Here, I might as well show you that. Come out this way. Ta-da! The old ones, I kept trying to replace the O-rings in them, trying to keep them from leaking so I wouldn't have to replace them. And it rained a couple weeks ago. Sure enough, they leak still. So I just bit the bullet, had to tear the old ones out, put these in. It was quite a process. The transom's slightly curved, so we had to make a template and route out a flat surface and recess them more, just the exact right amount, so the flange came out totally flush with the back. So back of the boat, so that came out well. I had to re-epoxy glass some of the area back here. There'd been a stainless steel part associated with the old rudder housing on here that I just tried to epoxy primer. Well, it distorted a little bit, and so I had to say, well, bit the bullet and glass that, prime that. So anyway, this is the first coat of red out here. You can see through a lot of it. It happens on the first coats. But we will worry about the second coat down the road when it's time for that sort of thing. What I am torn on now is trying to decide whether to do the deck. Well, more details here. We're going to have this cool foam cushioning on the deck called Raptor Deck. I know those guys down in Shilshall Marine and Ballard, and they make this cool stuff that sticks on. It's quite durable. It's UV resistant and provides a nice little cushy surface. Doesn't weigh very much, and that would be nicer to walk on than grit type non-skid that normally goes in the paint. And I like the idea of using just a light gray color, but you have little seams in between. You can only make the pieces so big. Do I make those strips of color? In other words, do I paint the whole deck before we put this stuff on with red or white? Here you can see the look when it's white. We have this very crisp line. This goes all the way down the side of the boat. Do we keep that? Or do we wrap the red all the way around the corner, and then you'll have the light gray Raptor deck in contrast with the red, with just little red strips in between where the Raptor deck would be in pieces. I can't decide, but I don't have to decide quite yet. But pretty soon I'm going to have to paint some of this deck. The old epoxy primer has been on here for a year. It's getting all chalky. It's not meant to be a finished coat, so I need to sand that. Either put more primer on it or just put the finished coat on, which is, if it's going to be Raptor deck, we just put a coat of shiny on, stick the Raptor deck on it, and it'll be done. So red or white. Anyway, that's the stuff we think about at night down here on Project Improbable. That's it for now. See ya.